Good morning, I'm Larry Davenport, and thank you for joining us for Manna in the Morning, presented by TITUS Camp. Today's thought comes from Genesis 3:15. And here the writer says, I'll put enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and her offspring. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Now, before we get into the text, let me tell you a story. When I was 10 years old, my brother was 14. And there's a pretty big difference between a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. Now, we would get into fights and wrestling matches like boys do, and there's no doubt who's going to come out on top between a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. Well, one day we got into an argument. I don't even remember what it was about. I do remember I was crying, and he ran off laughing because he had accomplished whatever he wanted to accomplish. And in frustration, I picked up a rock and I threw it at him. Now, normally I wouldn't hit the broadside of a barn, but on that day, I hit him square in the back of the head from 20 yards away. He dropped. I immediately panicked. I was afraid I'd killed him, and Mom's going to be mad at me because I killed him. And then I was afraid I didn't kill him, and he's about to get up and give me the pounding of my life. Now, honestly, I did not want to hurt my brother, but what I learned in that moment is just how serious a blow to the head can be. A head injury is not like a stubbed toe or a scraped knee. It can be final. In Genesis chapter 3, sins entered the world, and man is separated from God because of sin. Well, verse 15 is God's first promise of the Messiah. It's a prophecy about the ongoing conflict between Satan and Christ, but with a clear outcome. Satan's strike is temporary and limited. He calls it a bruise to the heel. Christ's strike, on the other hand, is decisive and fatal, and he calls that a bruise to the head. You know that rock that I threw? It didn't just sting. It stopped my brother cold, and for a moment, it was frighteningly final. But that image, it helps us see the difference between the two bruises in Genesis 3:15. Think about Satan's blow, the one to the heel. On the cross, Jesus was wounded. It was painful. It was real. He suffered, bled, and died. But like a heel injury, the damage wasn't permanent. He rose again on the third day. Satan's strike did not stop him. On the other hand, consider Christ's blow to Satan's head. When Jesus conquered death, it was like delivering a fatal blow to Satan in the head. Like a rock to the skull, this was decisive, final. Satan's power over sin and death was crushed, and unlike a heel bruise, a head strike means the end of the fight. You know, that day I hit my brother with the rock, I realized a blow to the head is far more serious than, say, if I had hit him in the heel. And Genesis 3:15 reminds us Christ's victory was complete. Now, Satan may still run around causing pain, but his defeat is sealed. What Jesus accomplished on the cross and in the resurrection, it's not just a temporary setback for evil. It's the fatal head wound that ensures Satan's final destruction. You know, in this life, Satan, he may still bruise us, but Christ has already crushed him. Thank you for watching Manna in the Morning, presented by TITUS Camp. Join us again tomorrow at 7:45 a.m. and have a wonderful day.
Thank you for tuning in to Manna in the Morning, presented by TITUS Camp.